So I'm farm manager for Caley Farms, which is a family farm. We're a mixed arable farm with a lot of spring barley and winter wheat. So our harvest window has been condensed into a 3-week period. We're running 4 S690s with 35-foot premium flow tables. We're needing another machine to give us more output. We've been fortunate as a business to be part of the customer focus group with John Deere over the last 5 years, and we've had exposure to the machine. We ran it last year in rape, but now this year we've got the combine for the full season, as you can see behind us. So as a child I was brought up to combining was a slow operation. It took time. Going to the S690s as we did 8 years ago sped that operation up massively, but we're now needing more output, and by being able to run this thing as just the last 4 days, it's blown everything out the window. We are now doing double the work to what we're doing with one S690 with a 35-foot table in rape, which is unheard of. And in a normal operation you would think it's going fast, it's throwing it out the back. We're finding that this thing is keeping it in at double the speed, and there's more there to go. It's not like we're on our limit, it feels wrong. It's going against everything we've done for the last 13 years. So we're very pleased. So not only is the combine a phenomenal piece of kit, the HDX header is just fantastic. You can scalp the floor with this. 5-foot rape, green stalks as thick as your wrist, and it will swallow whole crop. In doing so, it deals with it. It puts the green stuff out the back, it puts the grain in the tank, which is something that if you do that with the older machines, you're struggling to sieve it out because you're overloading it. And you can push and push, and in driving a normal combine, you would pull the stick back and this isn't going. It just doesn't stop, and you push harder and think in a minute it's going to stop, and it just doesn't disappoint. It keeps going. We're blown away by it. So this is the first combine that we have had anything to do with where we're having to limit the spread width so we can get the residue within 40 feet. This thing is just unreal. We've got no static knives in. And I appreciate it's a new chopper, but absolutely pulverising it. It's fantastic. So this thing would handle bigger header, no problems at all. From sitting up here in the cab, our old machines, we have good visibility, but this one, we're 5 foot wider on the header. You can sit as I'm sitting now, and visibility is no problems whatsoever. You can just see everything. It's relaxed. You're not hunched up over the steering wheel like in some combines that we've tried. You can sit back and be relaxed, which for a long day, for 15 hours sitting in here would be a pleasure. It wouldn't be a hardship to drive this machine. We've been running the combine for 4 days in oilseed rape. If we can do what we've done in the rape, doubling our output of our current combines, this thing is going to be unreal. We can't wait. The harvest is finished. We're halfway through our autumn drilling. Rain has stopped play, and looking back on the harvest, the combine was absolutely fantastic. The bit that we wanted to see was getting it in the wheats and the barleys, because this is where we need more capacity. We needed something bigger. Did we think John Deere could deliver? We was doubtful. In the past, we've seen increases of 5 to 10%, but 100% increase, nobody expected it. And this thing has just blown all of our minds. We're running 4 of our own S690s, which are a little bit older machine, but putting this to the side of it, we expected, we're doing 45, 50 tonnes an hour with respectable losses. To be doing 100, 110 tonnes an hour with a 0.4% loss, we didn't expect that. The combine to us was a massive improvement, but it's not just the combine. I know the header, they are 2 separate bits, but that header is a phenomenal piece of equipment. It swallows everything. For example, we decided to run just the X9 in the spring beans. We was doing 90 tonnes an hour. The combine was cutting beans at 9.5 K. The beans didn't have a chance to hit the floor. They were, as soon as the knife hit them, they was in and gone, which is fantastic from a losses point of view. So one of the areas that we was looking to get more performance, which we struggle with at the moment, is we grow quite a big area of spring barley. It's very time sensitive. 1 minute it's not ready, the next minute it's on the floor. This combine performed fantastic in the spring barley. We was cutting spring barley at 10k in an 8.5 tonne a hectare crop. We didn't run lifters. Our current machines all have lifters on, and where the barley would knuckle over and the head would be on the floor, you could position the knife it just picked it up. And where in the evening, 10 at night, once the damp starts to drop, our machines, it'd start wrapping and we would have issues with feeding. And I would like to say that the headers we've got, I think, feed exceptionally well on barley. But this thing, one evening in particular, we parked our machines at 10 because it was just wrapping and we thought we were going to end up breaking something. The machines was down to 2.5k. The straws are still a little bit green. The X9 kept going until 2 o'clock in the morning and he was cutting at 10k in the same field, same crop. It's just phenomenal. The performance of the machine when we've been combining the wheat, to be able to load the combine up and to pull the engine down to 1700 RPM or 1650 and sit there. I think one day we'd average 92% engine load over an 8-hour day. Well, with our machines, we can't think of doing anything like that, because no sooner than the machine is loaded up, you pull back and it's, but this, the engine just keeps lugging, and for 700 horsepower, it's fantastic. We ran 2 machines together for our own peace of mind to see the difference in performance and the fuel usage. The difference that we found, our machine would be doing over 100 litres an hour. This machine was doing 86, I think it was 86.4 on the same day in the same field, but this was doing 6.2k with a 40-foot table. We're doing 3k with a 35-foot table, doing the same job and using less fuel and more than double the output. There's a reason that the farmers bought this combine. It's performance, it's fuel saving and more. We didn't expect the output that we've got. We didn't expect it to perform nowhere near to the performance that it has done. I just feel that John Deere have raised the bar with the combines, and to have a machine like this, you need a good man on the seat to push it. You know, I've ran it for a couple of days and you need to have time off the seat just to regain your thoughts, because at 10k at 40 foot, you're properly moving it. There's a lot of stuff coming in the front at that speed. We've obviously looked at other machines, and there are a couple of machines there that we were, comparing to what we currently run, outperformed them in a big way. Is there anything can compete with it? I haven't driven anything that can do what this can do, and I think seeing is believing. I think you've got to sit on it and do it. The thing's awesome. It just eats wheat or barley or beans, and I genuinely don't believe there is anything on the market that can do at this present time what this is doing.